Hey, this is Jordan from Jersey, and this is what I thought of the comics I read the week of January 13th, 2010. And this was a very small week for me in comics. I only actually bought 2 books. So to make up for that, I've actually got another review of a non-comic, kind of. We'll get to that at the end. First off, we have Batman, The Widening Gyre, issue 4 of 6. And despite the fact that the Joker's on the cover, he does not actually appear in the issue at all. But I don't make the decisions at DC, so whatever. So the story of the series so far has kind of been Batman and his partners. That's the real connecting theme. Robin, the 3 different Robins, this new character, Baphomet, how they relate, how they related in the past, how they relate today, how they've related at all different points of Batman's career. So it's kind of a character study of a more Adam West style Batman, more comical, he'll crack jokes, all that kind of stuff. There's a funny reference to the giant penny in the Batcave, that kind of stuff. You know, he's not your serious Christian Bale Batman. He's just not. So even though this is a less dark version of Batman, the Gotham he's existing in is as dark as ever, as far as I can tell. The first page of the comic is very, very disturbing. And really that's a testament to Walt Flanagan's art. I know he comes under a lot of criticism, and while he's certainly not my favorite artist, he has grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, every issue is better than the last one. I mean, while you can certainly tell it's the same guy doing this who was doing issue 1 and 2 of Widening Gyre, it's very well improved. He's getting a real feel for Batman and the Batman universe. Not that I'm that familiar with the Batman universe, but it feels right to me. And, you know, the writing's not half bad either. Now, while I enjoyed the last issue for our last comic today, I loved it. And not for the reasons I would have certainly thought earlier today before I read it. And that is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 617. And yes, this is the Rhino's inclusion into the Gauntlet. And never thought I'd be saying these words. I'm sure it's odd to hear. It's weirder to say. This is a love story involving the Rhino. And it's really good. Now, first off, you got 2 stories in this book, both about the Rhino, both about the same thing, 2 different artists, 2 different time periods, so it doesn't feel weird like, you know, an artist switching down the center. Both stories are written by Joe Kelly, so there's a definite plus. I mean, I knew going into the issue, hey, I like this writer, especially when he's writing Spider-Man. So the backup story art is done by Javier Pulido, if I'm saying that right. I hope so, sir. His art is amazing. I finished the main story, there's an ad, flip the page, and I was like, oh, a 60s reprint. Alright, whatever. Until I happened to notice, flip the page and notice, oh, this is written by Joe Kelly. He wasn't writing comics back in the 60s, I don't think. And then I realized, oh, it's brand new, and the art it's really cool. It is a definite throwback. It looks like you picked up a comic from ways ago, and the story is awesome. Now, the art in the first story, it's not bad. In fact, I kind of like it, but it's very different. It's almost like somebody took a very detailed anime, took screenshots, and then put the speech bubbles inside that. So it's kind of got a different feel than too many comics I've read recently, but I kind of liked it. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things, you kind of have to judge it for yourself. I mean, the art is... a lot of glare there. You know, it's just kind of different. Here's some more character stuff. To me, it looks like an anime. I mean, especially like that face down there on Peter. But you have to be the judge of that. This story is incredible, though. Beyond the art's great in the second story, good in the first story. It's a story about the Rhino, the old Rhino. Apparently there's 2 now. We don't know too much about the new one. And the changes he's made in his life for love. And for, as far as I know, a new character that he's in love with. I don't think we've met her before, but I haven't read a whole lot of the Rhino stuff. The story is a great standalone experience. You don't need to be reading the Gauntlet to enjoy this story. You don't even need to particularly like Spider-Man, I don't think. I mean, he does show up in a scene where the new Rhino beats the old Rhino over the head with a horse, a living horse, holding it by the neck. That's kind of crazy. I had to do one of those at that point. That was weird, but cool. But anyway, it's a timeless one-shot story in the lines of the Flash Thompson in Iraq story, or maybe even the two-parter Shocker in the Subway arc from last year, 2 years ago. This is just a really great comic altogether, and you should really pick it up regardless of what you thought on Spider-Man. At least check it out, because I thought it was a great read. So that's it for the comics I read the week of January 13th, 2010. However, I do have one more review. The Ultimate Cut of Watchmen. Now, I'm a Marvel guy, but this was one of the first non-modern comics I ever read. I love Watchmen. One of the few books I bought 2 copies of, and because I loan them out to people. And this box set really does not disappoint. Now, I'll fully admit, I'm a Watchmen fanboy. I've got the regular copy. I just got the Ultimate Cut. I bought the Black Freighter, which has Under the Hood. Under the Hood is worth the money by itself, but the Tales of the Black Freighter starts a little slow, ends really well, though. And I thought the movie was really good. 8 or 9 out of 10. You know, I think the book is a 10 out of 10. This is an 8 or 9. But I think probably the best version of the movie that could have been made, if you know what I mean. So what do you get in the box set? Well, you get the box set, and it is nice. The end is nigh. I'm not so hot on the pirate button. I understand why they chose it, but it still seems kind of weird. And being as this is based on a book, opens just like a book. So you got that there. And then inside we have the motion comic, complete motion comic, which I bought on iTunes as it was coming out, because I never even crossed my mind that, hey, this will come out on DVD, you should wait. But it was worth it. And then we have, of course, the actual movie. Same cover, same back even. This part folds out into 5 sections. On the inside, you've got kind of those awesome hero posters that they did. Some Night Owls. Open up the special features. And then for the other cast characters, they're on the discs, which are, I can see you're upside down, but whatever. In this, you get the movie, The Ultimate Cut. I did watch all the new stuff, which includes, I want to see where they split up the Black Freighter, how that worked, and all the Bernie scenes. The Bernie scenes are great. If you saw the movie and were lamenting the fact that they'd cut them out, and or you watched the movie and you're like, at the end of it when things happen, you're like, why should I care about these characters? This answers the question. Unfortunately, IMAX run times and they couldn't fit it in, but it's really, really good stuff, and it totally kind of changes that feel of the movie. Special features. I watched some of these are repeats from the regular box set, which I've watched. Others are like the production journals, which I watched as they were coming out, but that's all good. There's a couple other things I haven't watched yet. There's 2 commentaries, which I haven't watched because the movie's 3.5 hours long. I love commentaries. I haven't gotten around to it. And then a digital copy. You get so much out of this. I think I got it for $26 online after Christmas, and it's really, really cool. So if you like Watchmen, if you have been eyeing up the Ultimate Cut, or you already bought the regular one, you don't know, do I really want to go into it? If you got $26 and you like Watchmen, or if you love Watchmen as I do, this takes it from an 8 or 9 to a 9 or 10 for sure. It is just an incredible box set. So that's all I have for this week. Hopefully there'll be some more books out next week, and if they're as good as the ones today, I'll be very happy. Check out Watchmen. Check out the book. If you haven't read the book, if you're watching any comic book reviews online, first off, especially mine, and you haven't read Watchmen, go spend the $15 you'd probably cost for a copy of the book. Read the book first, then see the movie. You're not going to regret it unless you're an idiot. Have a good week, even if you're an idiot. I hope you're not.